So I'm going to try and remake Fruit Ninja in Unreal. I saw, had a quick look on YouTube. There was no one that's really done this. There's a couple of ones that have done it in VR, but I want to do it a little bit different, more similar to the original. So what I've done is I've just got a model of a poly pizza. Got a model of a banana. Took that into Blender and split it in half. And yeah, so I'm just going to go and create a blueprint out of that. So it's going to be type actor, and we'll call it banana _ BP. And in that window, let's bring in said meshes. I'm just going to bring all of them into one. Now you could probably do them sort of separate and spawn the other one, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to see if it works like this. So I've found my whole piece. I'm going to rename that one whole. I'm going to give us a child of that, because this is the one that's going to spawn. It's going to get shot up into the air when it sort of spawns, and then we'll cut it. So we're going to need a couple of events for this. I'm just going to get rid of all this for now. I'm just going to create a custom event, and we'll call it launch. And we'll have another custom event, which we'll call cut. So on the launch, guess what we're going to do? We're going to launch it. We're not going to launch it. We're going to add force to it. And what are the numbers? I don't know. Let's just put in a reasonably high number. Let's go 50,000. And I'm just going to drag one into my level and see. Also going to quickly need to create a camera, so I'm just going to go to here, type in camera, create camera actor. Sure, that'll do for now. We might make this sort of mobile later on, change the resolution and stuff on this. But for now, let's just leave that as that, and then set it up. Play 0. How dramatic. You know why I did that? Because we've not called lunch. So I'm actually just going to add a quick begin play for now. Just for the sake of test. Woo! Not bad, actually. Not bad. I'm just going to take that number down to maybe 40,000. And let's test one more time. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. And again, for the sake of test, on a delay, I'm just going to put 1 second delay on, and I'm going to call the cut. So, cut. And in the cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my whole banana. I'm going to destroy that component, which should separate the parents. And I'm going to get reference to my halves. And I'm going to set simulate physics on them both. And let's give that a quick test while I take a sip of my cup of tea. Cool. All right, so that's working. Let's what should we do next? Let's actually set the spawner for these next. So I'm going to go to my thing, and I'm going to create a actor, call it spawner _ BP, and a spawner inside here. What I'm going to do is let's just for now let's do it on a set timer by event. Or create a function out of it. Maybe create a function. For now, let's just do every 1 second loop, and then drag back up that, and let's create a custom event which we'll call spawn banana. And guess what this is going to do? Yes, you guessed correct. It is going to spawn the actor from class, and that actor is going to be a banana. But now, where are we going to spawn this from? Let's actually add a couple of arrows. Is this the best way to do it? Maybe we should get an array. No, we'll just... there's only 4 spawn points. We'll probably add some more later. So I was thinking the other thing we could do is just get our spawn point and sort of just have it move across the bottom of the level. You know, could do both. I don't know. Yeah, so just going to add some arrows, and we'll just do a switch on int, and we've got 4 arrows, so let's add 4 outputs, and get a random int in range. And then let's get our arrow, get it, and get world transform. Cool, done. But we're gonna need to copy and paste that. So Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, and wire up as appropriate. Like I say, maybe the other way would be to do it so like as an array and just get like the length of the array, but we're doing it this way now. Cool. But we're going to go back to that banana real quick. Remember we created that launch event. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that launch event. I'm going to add an input because I actually want to know which way the arrows are facing. So I'm just going to create that, call it up, compile and save, and then off this, I want to launch. And notice that launch has got like an up now. So I'm going to get the up arrow, and I'm going to say get up vector. I'm going to put you in there like so. And we're going to need to do that for all of them, but for now, let's just test that with this. So let's go back to our banana. Currently we're going by 40,000, so let's get you and multiply by yeah. You know, let's also get an add as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert you to an int. Oh, what was it, like 40,000? 1, 2, 4. And I just want to make sure that the up's definitely got just a little bit extra on there. Not an add, let's do another multiply. So set this to 1, set you to 2, just so the up's just got that little bit extra up. Now, what it is that we're looking for here is, if we get arrow 1, let's just test it first actually. Funny. They're sort of spawning underneath the ground. Let's just move it up a bit more. Okay. So if we get our spawn, get arrow 1, just going to press F8 to go into simulate mode. And then get arrow 1. And if we, in theory, if we move this up, cool, okay. So now that's facing upwards, and then we can actually, depending on sort of like which direction we want it to actually go. Yeah, okay. That sort of works. Yeah, a couple of fine tweaks. Change that to a smaller number. Change you to a slightly bigger number. And I don't think it was working off the forward for it, was it? I feel like it was working off the right. And what I'm going to do is let me just test that real quick. Because by default, this thing's hidden in game. I'm just going to turn that off. So it's facing up, but yeah, so I think we actually want the right vector. So let's go back to our spawner, and instead of getting the up vector, let me just test that by saying get right vector. Get right. Okay. Get forward, then I guess. Get forward. That actually makes more sense. I don't know why I didn't go for that initially. Cool. Alright, and again, if we press F8, and we click on the spawner, oh my god, clicking the spawner is not easy. We get the right arrow, and we just rotate it a little bit. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. So, all I'm going to do now, real quick, is I'm just going to get my spawner point. I'm going to go get on my arrows. Move you over here a little bit. And just, because you sort of want them to sort of go loose into the middle of the screen, right? And again, you probably want a touch more sort of like random on it than that. Like I said, I was tempted to add just a little bit of back and forth movement to this thing. So that way it'll, you know, sort of just kind of go a little bit like that. I think that might make it even more fun and sort of just hide a lot of the randomness. I need to add these for all of them. Can I duplicate that or will it not be happy? Ooh, we can. Nice. Just wiring these last ones, and that should be it, really. That should be a Bob's your uncle situation. It's currently sort of like stopping, you know, when it's splitting them. I don't mind that. They're also not rotating, so they're facing up, so we'll tweak that in a sec. Yeah, cool. Cool. Just on our bananas, let's just probably even do it off play. Just gonna drag a nice big ol' delay. After about, what, like 5 seconds, just destroyed them. Shall we add a bit of back and forth movement to this? Or what is it called? There's a thing. Projectile movement, floating point, I think it's this. And what you do is you add a control point and you make that control point, I don't know, like 50. So that way. And you make sure it loops. One shot reverse. Yeah. Or ping pong. And let's give that a quick test. So if I hit simulate now, I was hoping that would move. But it ain't. It ain't do none. Maybe we need to add a second array point. Oh, there you go. I mean, we're on the wrong axis, but you get the point. Set you to that, set you to be 100. And that's just going to add a little sort of back and forth. Now, so as they spawn in, just gives a little bit more randomness to it. Set it to a much lower number. See if that freaks it out. There you go. It's just going to make it a lot less obvious, you know, so like, you know, that spawn point. Cool. I think in terms of our bananas and our actual spawning and the system there, I think that's what I'm going to do for this part. Next, we'll actually set up the cutting system and take it from there. Cool.